My name's Moya. I'm currently studying German and Russian at Queen Mary and I'm in my final year now. I've always been very interested in languages, so I studied German at A level. I really like the language program at Queen Mary because it is split between language contact hours, so kind of the grammar, speaking, all of that stuff, alongside cultural modules, which I really enjoy. There's just a lot of opportunities at Queen Mary when it comes to understanding career possibilities. I've taken part in a lot of opportunities already, which has really helped with employability and also getting in touch with future employers and helping to boost my CVs. So when I transferred into my second year at Queen Mary, I signed up for QM mentoring, which has been really useful as I got to meet someone who had also studied languages at university and get to understand a bit about their pathway and what they do now and their journey, so I can kind of picture what it might look like after I graduate and what options are available to me. And it was just really useful for networking as well because she was able to get me an internship at her company in London and that was super valuable. I also took part in the consultancy project, which was really interesting, and again, in touch with actual employers and getting to mix with people outside of the university, and yeah, it was really interesting. One of the things that stand out to me is definitely the teaching staff at Queen Mary. For German and Russian, we're always put into quite small classes, so they are really giving you their full attention, and there's always so many opportunities to ask questions if you need to, or get extra support, or even have meetings outside of classes, and it's just incredibly supportive. The fact that there was a year abroad option was definitely something I was very interested in. Like, ever since I was 18, I knew I really wanted to travel around a bit, and by doing a program that also had a year abroad, it would give me that opportunity to do so. I split my year abroad between 2 semesters as I study German and Russian. So my first semester was spent in Tallinn in Estonia and my second semester was in Potsdam in Germany. For both semesters I was studying. The first semester I spent in Tallinn, it wasn't connected to a university, it was a separate kind of Russian language school. So there were a bunch of us all together who were interested in studying Russian, which was really nice. And while I was in Potsdam, I studied at the University of Potsdam, and it was with a bunch of different international students, and it was really fun. Potsdam was definitely my favourite place to go to because it is right next to Berlin, so if you're kind of interested in going into the city, you can do. It's not far away. I met a lot of international students who were also studying German, which was really nice, and I have stayed connected with quite a few of them. I have a couple of very close friends, one who lives in Prague and one who lives in Spain, and we have actually met up since, which is really nice. I definitely think the year abroad is super helpful in boosting your skills, as there is only so much you can do in the classroom, and it's been really nice having the opportunity to actually be immersed in the actual culture and the language. I think the main thing it does as well is kind of give you a boost in confidence. Sometimes people can be a bit shy, like talking in the classroom, as they're a bit worried they might say something wrong, but it really does help to realise that it doesn't necessarily matter if you make that kind of tiny grammatical error when you're talking, it's just that you're trying, and it's nice to put it into practice. One of the main things that stood out to me about my year abroad personally was when I was in Germany, it was great having the opportunity to actually live there without focusing necessarily on formal studies. You study so much outside of the classroom, which is really nice, without even realising that you're doing it. So you're just naturally going to switch into the language or just hear it everywhere you go, read it everywhere you go, and it doesn't feel like you're necessarily learning, but that's what helps so much, is just being surrounded by it all the time.